Okay, now in this video we're going to talk about a new type of notation that's common in engineering called engineering notation. Okay, and so it's very similar to scientific notation except for a couple of modifications. In engineering notation, your first factor is going to be any number that's at least 1 but less than 1,000. Okay, so at least 1 but less than 1,000. So that's the first factor. The second factor is a power of 10, but the exponent must be a multiple of 3. Okay, why? Because in engineering we deal with magnitude, right? So we deal with hundreds, thousands, right? So every three place values we go up in magnitude. You know, that we go, like, for example, we have the thousands, 10,000s, and 100,000s, right? Those are the 3 different place values for the thousands. And then we jump up to millions, right? And then we have the 1 millions, right? 10 millions, 100 millions, and then it jumps up to billions. So every 3 place values we're end up going up in magnitude, and we go to trillions and quadrillions and exillions and quadrillions. And then there's septillions. There's all kinds of them, right? Also, so that's why we have the engineering. So that's engineering notation. So the first factor is going to be from 1 to less than 1,000, anywhere in that range. And then the second factor is a power of 10 factor, but the exponent has to be a multiple of 3. Has to be, okay? Okay, so again, and hence that's why we have the first factor 1 to less than 1,000 instead of 1 to less than 10. Okay, so that's it. Otherwise, it's the exact same thing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about converting from a number to engineering notation. Okay, but it's very similar, practically the same as what we did with scientific notation. Okay, so here are the steps. Now again, these steps are different than what you will see in the book. The steps in the book they put more steps, but I think this says it all. Okay, so to change to engineering notation from a standard ordinary notation, standard number notation, all you're going to do is you're going to count the number of places in groups of 3 that you need to move the decimal point left or right in order until you have a number that is at least 1 and less than 1,000. So that's step 1. Then what you're going to do is after you get to that, after you move the decimal point to that part and you've counted the number of places you had to move, again, make sure it's groups of 3. It has to be groups of 3. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to fix the power of 10 factor showing the number of place values that you moved as the exponent. And of course, you'll make that positive. The exponent will be positive if you move the decimal point to the left. It will be negative if you moved it to the right. Okay? The same as what we did with scientific notation. Okay, let's do some examples.